time. Hey, okay, I'm live on both. Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm gonna talk today, a continuation from yesterday's conversation, about some hacks throughout the holidays. And yesterday I covered some mindset stuff and how to change your state, but today I wanna dive a little bit more into nutrition. I'm gonna be taking questions and answers. So if you have any questions about nutrition, this is a good chance on this live today. Let me turn this so you guys can see me. To ask any of your questions. I'll be answering as many as I can throughout this live. So for those of you that are new to my page, my name is Natalie Jill and I kill fat for a living. And I love saying that because automatically you're gonna assume that's just the fat on your bodies, which I actually do help with. I can help you a lot with that. But more importantly, what I help you with there is killing those false assumed truths, those beliefs that hold us back from achieving great things, from becoming our best selves, all the excuses, all the reasons that we have believed that we can't be our peak selves. So that's what I help kill. So thanks for joining me. If you are watching me live, please jump in, let me know where you're watching me from, what your name is, and also I'd love to know your age. I'm 48 years old and I love knowing when I'm reaching people close in age to me, so let me know that. And if you're watching the replay, definitely write replay so I make sure to say hi to you later. Let me know where you're watching, when you're watching, all the things. Let's see who's on. Hi Mike, hi Melissa, hi Sabrina, hi Sierra, Melody. I'm doing great. How are you? Let's see, and I'm on both, so let me just make sure. And I'm gonna answer all questions. Hi Ann on Instagram and Michelle. A lot of you on today. Hi Gina from Chicago, 52. Awesome. Melody, 58. Awesome. So yesterday I did a live, you all, and I'm gonna just summarize a little bit of that for those of you that didn't watch. And what I was sharing yesterday is when it comes to transformation and stepping into a better version of yourself, there's really three things that are critical. There's three places that are critical, and I call it the transformation triangle. And without all three of these points, things don't last. Things don't work long term. And this is really important for you to understand because no matter what plan you follow, no matter what workout you do, no matter what book you read or what you listen to, if all three of these things are not in place, it doesn't set you up for long-term lasting results. So those three things are changing your state, it's the mindset piece, planning your plate, which is what I'm gonna dive into today, and then ultimately loving and losing the weight, and that's where the exercise component falls in. So if you picture a transformation triangle, changing your state is the most important part, then what we're eating, and then ultimately what we're doing with our bodies. They're all important and they're all necessary to change, to have a transformation. So yesterday I dove deeper into changing the state. And I'm not gonna go completely through that again because it's on from live yesterday and you can watch that replay. But in a nutshell, the main thing that we established there is that in order to have transformation, in order to change anything in your life, whether it's your body, your health, your relationships, financial, anything, the very first step is making a decision. And once you make a decision that something's changing for you, you are taking a giant leap in the right direction for things changing. Because just making that decision that it's going to change puts you in the right direction there. So if you don't believe me there, I want to give you a little bit of an analogy. And don't do this if you're driving and listening to this, and don't do this if you can't close your eyes right now. But if you can, if you're watching me live and you're sitting in a place where you can, I just want you to close your eyes for a minute. And I want you to envision that you're biting a big, juicy lemon. Like a big, juicy lemon. Like you're just biting right into it. And then I want you to tell me, you can open your eyes now, when you envision that, what happens to your body? Like what happens to your face, your body, your mouth, when you envision biting a big, juicy lemon? What happens there? What happens there? Let's see. You can comment down below if you want to share what happens there. Yeah, so a lot of people say, basically you'll start squinting, your mouth might start to water, you'll make a face. All those things happen just from envisioning that you were biting a big juicy lemon, even though you didn't actually bite a big juicy lemon. So the first thing I want you to realize is that just by thinking something, visualizing it, imagining it, there is a reaction in your body. There is a reaction in your body to that. So you've all heard the saying where your mind goes, the body follows. It's very, very accurate. And it's not because of woo-woo. It's just your visualization, your mind is very powerful. So step one is your body, when you envision something, when you visualize something, when you think about something, your body starts already reacting towards that. But the most important part, when your mind starts imagining something, is that you start taking actions towards that. It's almost impossible not to. If you think about when you've actually made a decision about something in your life with complete clarity, with complete certainty that I'm going to take action towards this, you will start finding evidence of why that will work for you. You'll start getting the support that you need. You'll start taking different actions. All of that happens because you made a decision. Because you made a decision first. Without making a decision first, nothing can change. Give you an example of that. Many times when I have a new program or a plan or a book or a challenge like the one I have coming up, people will say to me, I've tried everything before, this will not work for me, or why will this work for me? And I know just by that question that that person is setting themselves up for failure because they haven't fully decided. You see, once you make a decision that something is going to work for you, it's going to happen, that things are changing for you, that's what starts that transformation of it working. Every single transformation I have helped with, and I've helped with hundreds of thousands over the years, whether it was distant online or through video trainings or one-on-one, I've helped so many people transform. And the commonality with every single person that transformed was they all made that decision first. So I'm going to ask you, just like I did yesterday on the live, have you decided that you're ready to change? Have you decided that you want 2020 to be your best year ever? If you have, please write in the comments, I've decided. Right, I've decided. Because if we don't say I've decided, then we haven't decided. We're still in that trial zone. So let me know. Tell me I decided. I'm looking for you to write it. That's the first step, y'all. Okay, so I'm not gonna go too much more into state because I did a whole video on that yesterday. That's there. I love it. Moon, you've decided. Awesome. A lot of you saying you decided. Great. Type it in there. Type it in there. Declare it. I've decided. So Melissa, you said I need more energy, right? I decided. Kanya's decided. Jan's decided. I love it. Marcella decided. I love it. See, that decision is that first step. That decision is the first step. Sierra, I'm ready to change. I've decided. I've decided. Awesome. Okay. So when you make a decision, that is the first step. And here's what I also want you to know. And I covered this a lot deeper yesterday. You could be an entirely different person, like literally an entirely different person a year from today by changing your thoughts, actions, and habits. And literally an entirely different person. If you start having the thoughts, taking the actions, doing the habits that somebody who has what you want is experiencing, you too will have those same results. So, but that first step is deciding. I love it. All of you saying I've decided. Sabrina, Laylee, Sierra, awesome. Anna, I've decided. This is great. This is great. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is what I want to really cover today, and that's your plate, nutrition. I want to give you 3 hacks today. And these things will definitely help you get through the holidays. It's a start. This is not the answer. This is not the end all be all. The decision is first. Jessica, thanks. I love it. Hi, Natalie. I've decided. Love it. Here's 3 hacks that you can start adding into your holidays right now that's not going to affect going to parties. It's not going to make it so you can't go out and enjoy yourself. These are just 3 additions because I love additions versus restrictions that are going to help support you. Are you ready for them? These are easy. They're easier than you think. Okay. Number one, this is important. Focus on unprocessing your diet. What does that mean? Unprocessing your diet means focusing on real, natural, unprocessed, wholesome foods. Things that once grew. Things that once had life. Some examples of that: fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, avocado, lean meats, fish, shellfish, things that once grew. Regardless of what you believe or you want to follow, keto, vegan, I don't know, paleo, whatever, you focus on natural, unprocessed, real foods, it makes a huge difference in your life. Y'all, there's so much information overload out there with what you can follow, what you should follow, counting calories, macros, eliminating food groups, whatever. All of that can have a place, but for that first step, what makes that biggest change in your body, in your health, in your focus, in your energy, in your clarity, and all of that is unprocessing your diet. Focusing on real, natural, unprocessed foods. And you know what the best part about that is? It's healthier for everyone. Like, no one can argue that you should not eat unprocessed, natural, real foods. It's just basic common sense. If it once grew and it's natural, it's better for you. It can be as simple as that. Eating natural, real, unprocessed foods. Super simple. Focusing on that. And it's a lot easier than you thought. If you have any questions about foods that might be unprocessed or whatever would be good, you can let me know here, and I'm going to take a few questions. Let's see. Do you soak your nuts and seeds before you eat them? I have done that, Victoria. I don't know that it's completely necessary. Yes, there are advantages of that, but it gets into splitting hairs and where I think the information overload comes in. So there's different stages of nutrition and different stages of everyone's transformation. And for most people, they really need to be at step 1 before going to step 10. So if you really look at the spectrum of nutrition advice and all the things, the healthier, the more lean, the more close to your ideal weight, all those things you get, the more nitpicky you can get about those things. But for most of you listening, when you've got the 20 to 50 pounds or more to lose, and you're starting out, going all the way there creates a lot of information overload and a lot of unnecessary steps that can set you up to not create lasting results because it's too hard to stick to. So what I start with everyone is let's unprocess your diet first. Let's start with step 1. Let's look at natural, real, unprocessed foods. Let's see, Melissa, what's hard for me, I'm allergic to everything. I only eat salad and fruit. Okay, but look, so Melissa, you can change your story around that. So everything you just wrote, I only eat salad, fruit, chicken, fish, vegetables, meat. That is an unprocessed natural food diet. That's a great thing. I would look at it as a blessing. You know, I'm a celiac. I can't have any gluten, which really, I know gluten-free is a trend. I was celiac before everyone even knew what gluten was. But I'll tell you that I look at that as a blessing. Every now and then somebody will message and be like, oh, I was just diagnosed with celiac and I can't have gluten and woe is me. And I'm thinking, wow, it was one of the biggest blessings I could have had to not be able to eat gluten because that taught me about eating a natural, unprocessed, real food diet years ago and the benefits of that. And I believe everyone can benefit from that. So you are in a good spot, Melissa. I think that's amazing. It sets you up to win right there. And it doesn't matter that you can't have nuts. My daughter's also highly allergic to all nuts because there's lots of other amazing healthy fats you probably can have. Like avocado, like olive oil, like coconut. There's a lot of things that you could have that are still healthy fat. Okay. So, and I don't do soy either, Melissa. So everything you're listing is exactly how I eat, and it's a blessing. So if you shift your mindset around it, and instead of saying, I can't have all these things and why it's hard, and look at it as a blessing, that your body is super smart and it's telling you what you need, that's golden for you, just by changing that mindset around that. So I think you're in a really good spot, Melissa, and I think it's amazing. Okay, so number 1, y'all, was unprocess your diet. Unprocess your diet, okay? The second thing, again, remember I said these are easy, but sometimes the easy things are the things we need to be reminded of. Hydrate, and hydrate a lot. Most people are walking around chronically dehydrated and don't even know it. What happens instead is you think that you are hungry or have cravings, but you're actually thirsty. Your body is hungry for that. You walk around bloated, and a big reason for bloat, there's a lot of reasons for bloat, but a big reason for bloat, believe it or not, is if you are dehydrated, your body will try to hold on to water and it will bloat you. So the more water you drink, the less bloated you will be. So not only does hydrating help with your fatigue, with your energy, it also helps with the bloat. It also helps keep you full and move your food along faster. I am not a fan of your food sticking around in your body for long periods of time. I want to get it in, get the nutrients, and get it out. And the water is going to help with that. So as super simple as it is, most of us are not hydrating enough. Chime in here, by the way. Chime in here if you are hydrating enough or if you need to add more water. I want to know. Most of the times when I bring this up, I hear, I know this, I've heard it, but I'm not doing it. And what's interesting about that is so many times people are trying to do all these crazy information overload things that's out there on the internet, like giving up a whole food group or counting every single macro and calorie or fasting for hours and hours or doing all these things, but they have not even done that simple thing of adding more water. Y'all, water's free. We're very fortunate to have free, clean water. It's readily available and it's a huge help. And I'll tell you, if you drink a bottle of water before you go to that party, you're gonna eat a lot less. Reminds me to drink. So what I do, y'all, and this is easy, I just literally have water bottles everywhere. In my car, in my gym bag, next to me when I'm recording this live. It's a constant thing. As far as what kind of water, I don't really care about that. It doesn't matter. Can I argue that there's better waters or not better waters? Sure. But the bottom line is just get water. Just get the water in. You can get it from sparkling water, you can get it from slightly flavored water, you can get it from the sink. You can get it anywhere. Water fountain, filtered water, it doesn't matter. Just get more water in. Just get more water in. Okay. The next thing, so I mentioned 3 nutrition tips. You guys are gonna love this one. This is my favorite one of all times. I could give you like a million nutrition tips. I'm not gonna do that, but this is my favorite one, is focus on addition versus subtraction. So what does that mean? That means you're gonna focus on adding in so much of the good that you make less room for the bad. It's as easy as that. If you look at unprocessed natural foods, and I want you to have more of those, more vegetables, more fruits, more nuts, more seeds, more avocado, more lean proteins, more water. If you focus in on how can I add in so much more of this into my life, you will make less room for the bad. Always. For example, if I'm gonna have pizza, like I really want pizza, and it'd be gluten-free obviously because I'm celiac, and I'm not a fan of dairy and grains for myself, so it'd be very rare, but I want that. You better believe I'm gonna have a big salad first and load up on tons of vegetables, and I'm gonna drink a lot of water. And you know what happens then? Instead of eating a whole pizza, I eat a piece of it. So it's not even about telling myself I'm not gonna eat a whole pizza and relying on willpower, because willpower does not work, y'all. But the very active focusing on how can I add in so much more of the good, you make less room for the bad. Makes it super simple. Super simple. All right, y'all, I'm gonna take questions on anything, and I see some of them coming in right now, which is great. So I'm gonna take questions on everything. Here's what I want you to know though. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that deciding is that first step. Deciding is the absolute first step. And I wanna set you all up to win. So, obviously, you could take any of the information I share for free at any time and apply it. But I want you to know, and I was very hesitant about sharing this weekend because it is a little while in advance. But I decided in honor of Black Friday and small business and Cyber Monday and all the things that I would do this. This January, I am doing a challenge that many of you have been asking me for. It's the Back to Basics challenge. And I spell basics, B-A-S-I-X, with a capital X, because during that challenge, I'm going to X out all the information overload, and I'm gonna keep it super simple, super easy, and super fun for you so that you get results. Like, I don't want anyone to fail, so failure is not an option. We're gonna go deep into nutrition during those 4 weeks in January and dial you in completely so you have a completely successful 2020. Sound good? Now, why am I not starting this challenge in December? Because it's the holidays, and I don't want to do that to you. I want you to enjoy the holidays, have some tips from me, ease into it, knowing that you are enrolled in the January challenge and that it's coming, because just the act of enrolling in it and knowing it's coming and being committed to it, that is already a decision that sets you up to win. And I guarantee that by doing that, you'll have a whole different experience this December, knowing that that's happening in January, which is gonna be amazing. So Back to Basics Challenge starts in January. The reason I'm bringing it up right now for you is because I'm getting a lot of questions about, am I doing another challenge? So yes, I am. I'm doing that challenge in January. And what I did is I slashed the price in half
for right now this weekend if you want one of those spots. So all you do to grab that is you're gonna go to www.backtobasics, BASIX.com, .me, backtobasics.me, backtobasics with an X.me. And you can grab one of those spots. I already have a bunch of you that grabbed a spot yesterday, which is amazing. And I can't wait to work with you in there. But just that act of making that decision and being part of that challenge, you're gonna already start having transformation. Just that act. That's the ultimate declaration and ultimate deciding. Let me know if you're in, by the way. Write I'm in if you're in the challenge. And I'm gonna start taking questions. But are you in? Who's in? Tell me if you're in. I see Liana on. She is in. She was like the first one in. So let me know if you're in. By the way, y'all, if you are in my Aging in Reverse community, you do not need to enroll in Back to Basics because you're already enrolled in it. You're already gonna get that as part of your membership in January. So no worries there. Let's see. I'm gonna read some of these questions. Let's see. Can I have the same thing you are now on my list? Wait a minute. I can't read what you wrote, Tanzim. Let's see. Tanzim, I'm trying to read what you wrote here. Can I have the same thing as you are now on my list and your comment is the same thing I did? I'm not really sure what that means. Okay. Water, water, water. Rachel, yes. Put it everywhere. Melody, you're in. Yes. Hi, Tori. Let's see, Francis, good information, awesome. Okay, somebody asked me about the video I posted with the Bosu. Y'all, it's just a regular Bosu. She said, what do I do? You're in, I love it. Hold on, you're in. Will we be using Isogenics in the challenge? No, Colleen, you can if you want, but it's not, there's no supplements on my challenge. And I am a total fan of Isogenics, but this is a whole food challenge. It's gonna be based on natural, real foods. And if you have supplements that you use with them, absolutely you can continue, other than the shakes during the challenge. I would not suggest the shakes during the challenge because we're gonna be doing it on whole, natural, real foods. So yes, and you can come in backtobasics.me. Let's see, let me make sure I'm not missing any questions here. Water, water, yes, that's a great idea. She said to put fruit in your water. It's a great idea, Rachel, thank you. That's a great idea. I love adding fruit to water for flavoring. Yes, Masha enrolled in Aging in Reverse yesterday and started yesterday. I love it. Let's see, at night I get a little hungry. I don't want to eat anything heavy, so I have fruit and water. What else would I have? Oh, good question. What else could I have? Melissa, I would personally not just have fruit and water at night. And the reason why is fruit has fructose, which is fine, but it's still sugar. And even though in fruit you get the fiber, so it slows it down some, what I don't want happening is if you're just having fruit, you can make yourself more hungry. Your insulin does spike some, it could make you more hungry. Just by adding a little bit of fat or protein to that will make a big difference and help get you through the night. So when I'm craving something at night, and that's a lot, let's say I'm gonna have an apple, for instance, what I'll do is I'll add either sun butter or almond butter just to get a little bit of protein and fat with it, and it makes a big difference. So that's what you can do. Yolanda, where do I read on all your programs, Aging in Reverse, etc.? Yolanda, my website. If you go to nataliejillfitness.com, nataliejillfitness.com, you can find my Aging in Reverse community, you can find all of that. For this specific challenge though, it's back to basics, BASIX.me. And that's for the January challenge. That's for the January, but you can find all my other stuff at nataliejillfitness.com. It's all right there. What's the meal plan like for the challenge? Is it reasonable? Yes, okay. So Jessica, I'm gonna have 2 meal plan options in there, a step 1 and a step 2. Step 1 is gonna be all based on natural, unprocessed, real food. And it is very friendly for families, for everyone, easy to follow. What we do is we make it super simple, break down, teach you the different categories, and you have a choice between that and like you following it and building your own meals or making some recipes. We make it interesting as you want for both. Now I have a step 2 plan in there as well, and that step 2 plan removes all grains and dairy. And the reason I do that as a step 2 is that's actually how I eat now, even though for years I ate the other way. It's how I eat now, but I don't advise that people start that way unless they've already been eating the other way for quite some time. So for most people, the step 1 plan, the level 1, which is based on natural, real, unprocessed foods and has swap out options for everything is there. And there's a second option that is grain and dairy free. So you could take it up a notch. And then we're there answering all of your questions during the challenge. The best part of the challenge is not only do you get the meal plans and the recipes and the grocery list. But you're gonna have a daily video from me that's literally emailed and texted to you. You're gonna have access to a private community where we answer all of your questions, and it's a really fun community. You'll get points where you can win prizes for doing the things each day. You'll have accountability there, motivation, and there's a weekly live call with me where, different than the live I'm talking to you on right now, I'll literally be able to see you, you'll be able to see me, so it's really cool, and I'm answering all your questions. So I really will cater this towards the group going through, where I answer all of your questions direct to make sure everybody succeeds, because failure is not an option on this. So I hope that helps. Hi Jim, who just joined, I see you there. So yeah, back to basics.me. Let me know if you're in. Say I'm in so I know. Sporkman, she's asking me, is there going to be vegan options? Vegan options, it's not a vegan plan. I want to be really real with you. It's a natural, unprocessed, real food diet, but I do not have beans or soy or lentils on the plan. That's part of, because I am focusing on fat loss and getting rid of bloat during this. So for this particular one, if that's what you're looking for, it's not for you on this, just being real. We will have workouts on the plan as well that are an option, and we'll have some mindset stuff, but it is a big nutrition focus. So if you are vegan, I don't know if this is the right thing for you. However, my Aging in Reverse community, Sporkman, could be, because that could support all those things, and it's not focused just on a meal plan. So I hope that helps you. Sierra, you're in. I love it. Zoom calls. Yes, Sierra, exactly. There'll be live Zoom calls, but I'll do it not as a webinar. So it's really like, I'll be able to see you, you'll be able to see me. And we'll have a small enough group that I can really get in there and answer all your questions. And if you can't attend the live calls, it's not a big deal, because we're gonna record everything, of course. So I love it. A lot of you saying you're in. I'm excited. I hope to see you in there. My membership for Aging in Reverse is aginginreverse.me, but the challenge is back to basics with an X, .me. Awesome. Thanks, guys. All right, if you missed yesterday's live, I talked about changing your state. I went deeper there. Today we went deeper into planning your plate, and then tomorrow I'm gonna talk more about the workout element. You in? I love it. Awesome, y'all. If I missed any questions, please chime in, ask them in the comment threads, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.